What's up guys, and welcome to this week's episode of We Are the Bonsai Supply. This is Mari and I am Jerome.
Today is a special week because we have Valentine's Day around the corner and it's also our first anniversary in YouTube.
That's right.
Because two is better than one because of Valentine's Day, we decided to do 2 trees instead of one in this video. And also because of last video success, or you guys really like to participate in the auctions, we decided that you can also get these 2 trees through the auction. So
Yes.
you'll see at the end my instructions about that.
Yes. So once again, I'm going to go through our pre-bonsai section. I'm going to choose 2 trees that are completely different from each other. I'm going to defoliate them, I'm going to wire them, I'm going to style them, and I'm going to turn them into something really cool. And like she said, you can actually acquire these 2 trees at the very end of this video, and we're going to tell you how. So let's get right to it. Alright, let's go. Let's check it out. Alright, so these 2 trees are Shohins. One is already a Shohin, and the other one we're going to turn into a Shohin today. Now, what is a Shohin? Shohin is a Japanese word, and it literally means translated a little thing, so a little tree. So they also say that the tree, a Shohin, cannot be taller than 8 inches. So this one right here is right around 7.5 to 8 inches. Where this one is 14 inches tall, so we have to shorten that one. There's many ways that you can start a Shohin. You can take a larger tree and cut it down to a smaller tree and then grow your branches. Or you can even start from like a whip and then actually grow everything yourself. There's many ways that you can do that. So the first one that we're going to work on is this one right here. This is a tiger bark ficus. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wire out all the branches. I'm going to pick a new front. And then this one we're going to turn into a Shohin. So it's not quite a Shohin just yet. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, so this is tree number 1, which is the tiger bark ficus. I put a little wire in here so that you can see that this is the front. I styled it into like a little broom style. What I would like to happen next is to have these branches down here elongate a little more. Because in my opinion, like a small tropical like this should be wider than it is taller. So I would like it to be, you know, maybe out to about here. But keep the same height, because you have a really thick trunk that can definitely support a canopy out to here. I wouldn't do much more to it. I mean, you have all the main branches in place. Now it's just about letting them grow out, thicken, and then just kind of cutting it back and then start to work on the ramification. Alright, so next I wanted to show you guys a tree that is not that obvious that it's a Shohin right from the beginning. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this rim here so that you can actually see the base of this tree. So this is a Chinese elm, by the way, which is a semi-deciduous tree. It does really well in the tropics, but it doesn't really lose its own leaves that easily, at least not in Florida. So it could be a tropical deciduous tree, but nonetheless, Chinese elms I like a lot because they make fantastic bonsais, because they naturally have very small leaves and they're just really easy to train. Just wanted to check on the base. So the base start to go out like that. So I always check, especially on Shohins, I think it's even more important than on larger trees, that the root flare is there. Like the tiger bark ficus had a really nice flare where it started to thicken up at the bottom even more. So I just wanted to look for that as well here on this tree. Okay, so now if we look at this tree from the front here, yeah, this is going to be my front. So if you follow up the movement, right, you start at the base, it has really nice movement. All right, so you start at the base, and then you follow up the line, and then this could be your first branch. And then you continue up the line, and then what you don't see is in the back here, I have a nice back branch. And then I have another branch here. So I have my left, my back, and my right. Now I typically don't follow this rule, but it is a bonsai rule. So this tree has it. And then you continue up here, and then here we could build the apex. Now when we stop right here, the movement gets lost. So the tree has movement to the right, a very heavy movement in here, goes back, up, and then the movement gets lost, because then here it just goes straight up. You see, from here to here it's completely straight. Okay, so that's why I think it would be really cool if we shorten this tree to about here and make a Shohin out of this, because the movement gets lost up there. So we're going to take this tree off in stages. So this time of the year in Florida, we start to defoliate most of our deciduous trees ourselves, because it never gets cold enough where the deciduous trees will start to defoliate themselves. I'm speaking specifically in Fort Lauderdale and south. I believe that in Orlando, which is about 3 hours north from here, the trees do defoliate themselves. Alright, so I'm applying a little cut paste up here on top, which just helps the healing process along. Now this tree, let's see here. I didn't really like this branch at first because it has so much movement, but now the more that I look at it, I actually am really starting to like it because it's such a small tree. It needs a little drama somewhere, so I think this is actually really cool because the trunk has good movement and this branch kind of matches that movement in the opposite direction. So I do like it. I do like that it's very heavy, and I will keep this branch as the longest branch in this tree. I would probably shorten this at some point, but I would let it elongate a little more because you want to have your thickest branch at the bottom, which we have, which is great. And I just want this branch to thicken up a little more, and then also the back branch, let's let it grow a little bit and let it thicken up. And then the apex of the tree, I see it being maybe this tall, the entire tree. Yeah, I think that will look incredible. And then imagine once you have the ramification in place and you have that little ball down here, I think it's going to look incredible in a little Shohin pot. So these are two very different Shohins. One was started with an already fat trunk and shorter, like a very typical tropical tree. And then this one was taller, that we shortened. And we're going to make it look very nice in a very small, pretty deciduous tree.
So this is the time that you all were waiting for, and it's auction time. It's been about 4 weeks. So these trees are ready to go to their new home. You can see new growth. They are coming along really nicely. These are great to Shohin. So this time for this auction, we're gonna have 2 trees instead of 1, and it's gonna be only 3-day auction. So if you would like to win any of these trees, go to our website. The link is below and participate. Happy bidding, happy Valentine's Day, and see you guys next time.